Guys, this is Mimi and Ron podcast. We appreciate you for coming to the video. This podcast is brought to you by FrizzyGirlCurlz.com. Go ahead and check out that website. You'll be able to go ahead and look for coffee mugs, t-shirts of your liking. Again, check out FrizzyGirlCurlz.com in the description below.
It's FrizzyGirlCurlz with a Z at the end. That's my website.com and then my Etsy as well. You could do etsy.com/FrizzyGirlCurlz. Same thing.
So check in the description below for those websites for our sponsor
That
below.
link. Yeah.
Anyways, so this is the first video of a topic we decided to get together. My sister and I, we've always had not disagreements, but we've had discussion for different things, and we decided to create a YouTube channel so we could show the world, what a brother and sister talk about. And this is literally real stuff. Of course, we're gonna cut out whatever we need to cut out based off YouTube terms. This is a beginning channel. We're still learning the ropes. And again, like even right now, we have a rig. We're using a Swivel wet jet box, a Curology box with a
and my hair gel.
and a hair gel box, so we can view the camera up. So we're still amateur at this, but we really appreciate you guys coming to the channel and watching. So today's topic is mental health. What I'm gonna do, I'm gonna allow her to talk and give her side about mental health, and then I'm gonna go ahead and talk on my side about what I think about mental health and just nits and pieces about it. So if you want to go ahead and you can introduce yourself and all that kind of stuff, or you can just go diving right into it.
So hey, my name is Melissa. This is Ronnie, but my nickname, some people call me Mimi. Well, my mom calls me Mimi, and Ron, of course. So what I wrote down for mental health is actually at the bottom of this thing that we have set up. So what I really wanted to talk about specifically with mental health, I wanted to, I've seen a lot of my generation, which is specifically millennials, our generation, just always constantly bringing up anxiety and bringing up depression. And I see that a lot, that we are starting to talk a lot, starting to really speak out a lot more about our mental issues, and specifically in the Black community. Like, I'm seeing that a lot more, and I'm seeing a lot of parents as well who are open to talking about it. So I really wanted to be like one of our first topics of our podcast. Now, I am somebody who suffers from anxiety and depression. It has been a journey for me. It has not been the best. It has not been fun. I'm still struggling with it. I take medication for it. I know friends who take medication for having anxiety as well. And yeah, that's kind of the opening of the mental health topic.
Okay. So for me, I'll tell you guys this is really honest truth about for her and what she has been going through, without giving all the details. What I'm going to say is that when she first said that she needed to get the therapy, and then she talked about even with the Black community, and we can only vouch for the Black community because we're Black. So it could be other communities as well. We just don't know. And if you're in the comment section below, you can adhere to what culture you're in and talk about it, because of course we're all human. But my mother and I, we were like, why you have to get therapy? That doesn't make sense. You shouldn't be this way. However, because we are human, these things happen. So I had to take it upon myself to do some education to understand that, to be a little bit more lenient on that, and actually become very lenient on it. Because not only was she going through a situation that was living in my life, my ex-girlfriends, both of them, had thoughts of suicide, and they had mental health issues. One of them, which actually very shocked me, the first one I kind of had an idea why. She had a family issue. However, the second one, I was very surprised by it, because she's never showed the signs, and that wasn't a family issue that she had. But because we live in a world right now that is being, open to that mental health thing, there are more programs available right now. There are medications being developed at the moment for mental health. And of course, we're dedicating this first episode to that, just because it's gonna bounce off to a whole plethora of topics.
And it affects us personally. Yeah.
Exactly. So we not to talk so much on my end, because for me, I don't know about the whole the anxiety thing, the stressing out thing, or even the depression thing. I don't have any fault in that. She has it. She's able to go ahead and exude it and relate to you guys on it, for those who have done it. But even with this, when you guys go into that comment section below and talk about it, it's gonna even have me even learn more about different people's perspective on mental health.
So definitely, not to cut you off, definitely put, down in the description some of the things maybe either you dealt with or your family dealt with mental health issues, and how, as he said, himself and my mom, especially my mom, that's, she didn't grow up around really understanding what anxiety was or what depression was and what the signs are for that. And I think it's very important for us to be educated about it, especially, again, as I said, especially in the Black community, because we go through it too, not just white people or whoever that actually goes to therapy suffer from mental health. We do too. We're not just, oh, that person's crazy or that person's just lazy or whatever. No, like, there was actually issues with me. Like, I went to college. I got to a point where I started to drink a lot, and my depression started to really show. And when I came home, and when I came home, that didn't stop. The drinking didn't stop. And, drinking does not help, of course, mental health issues, especially depression, because drinking is a downer. That alcohol is a downer for you. So when I first brought it up to them, it was actually when I was in 9th grade. And it was actually more of a, sometimes I feel like killing myself, hurting myself. And I didn't really understand that. They didn't really understand that. So it kind of just went under the rug and kept it pushing. But as I got, coming home from college, and it's still kind of being a thing that I was dealing with. Mm-hmm. And when I actually got to a point where I ended up in the hospital, and my alcohol level was so high, and they had to wait practically till, it got out of my system and everything, to really, have a conversation and see what we can do for the situation, which is when I really started taking medication, and I was diagnosed with, severe depression and anxiety. Now, people that have dealt with it themselves or know somebody of it, you have some things called depression spurts, where it's like, and I didn't even know that. My therapist was actually the one who told me, was like, I told her how I was feeling, just like, I was good, I was happy, it was fine. And then the next week, I don't want to do anything. I just want to lay in my room, and I don't feel like cleaning, I don't feel like moving, I don't really feel like going outside, I don't feel like doing anything. And I'm like, obviously that's not normal, and it wasn't normal. And I had to learn myself that, that's a depression. I forgot specifically what she said, but it's practically like me going through a little sports sections or spots or whatever of depression. And I still struggle to this day with alcohol. Again, as I said, I take medication. I try my best to educate myself, because I want to know myself, ain't nobody else gonna do for you more than yourself, of what we can do to help me. But I also want to be a part of the community. I also want to, help other people understand. If you heard that, I apologize. I want to help other people understand, and really take the time to get to know what it is to have depression and anxiety. Anxiety, I know some people that can't even drive because of anxiety. I know for myself, there are times when I get frustrated. I get like we can be thinking about going somewhere and my mind is reeling about, okay, there's so many things that I have to do, there's so many things that could go wrong, there's so many things that is gonna hinder me from leaving the house or getting ready or doing this, where to the point where I psych myself out. And I don't know if anybody else goes through that. Definitely put that in the comments if you go through that as well. But again, I really wanted to make mental health one of our first topics, because again, it is something personal to me, and I want us to really start talking more about mental health and how it definitely does affect specifically our teenagers. You know, if I'm not mistaken, you really start to see those signs as you get older, as teenage, young adult, you know, the good 18, the 20s, you know, and we can all recall, like, if you are struggling with or know somebody, like, it does start happening around those times where you just start, you either having panic attacks or anxiety attacks, you start breathing hard, you start, as I said before, you have so many things going through your mind, you don't know what to do. So I want us to really start talking more about it and understanding that it is real. It is something it's serious, and it affects us to the point where, as I said before, you know, you can't drive, you can't do anything, you can't move, you're sometimes, as I say, you lose your breath. Like, it is something that is serious and should definitely be looked into and talked about more.
Okay.
Input.
So again, this is just one of the many videos that we're gonna talk about. We decided to talk about mental health issues to go forward, because as you can see, on one side you have someone that is in it, and I'm gonna be honest, I think even with the YouTube channel being created and first doing this, help her, and it also could help you by just having this conversation. For me, I I'm not saying that I won't be in it, but it's a learning thing for me as well, because, you know, once again, even when I was in high school, I didn't go through that situation. I wasn't in those things. So of course, that's why she has more eligibility and more credibility to talk about these things. What I would say for me is my circle in a way kind of helped out. I wasn't necessarily in a group of people. For me, my benefit, what I think personally, my group was very small, and I wasn't with a crowd that maybe was so negative or whatnot about things in life. I had people who actually did root for me. My best friend, and he's the only guy now. Everybody else is gone as you grow a little bit older, and I am older than her by 3 years, but my group is a little bit different. I kind of could use that and attest to that, maybe one of the reasons why I'm not in that position. But I think this is going to be the beginning of conversation we may have, and in the future, you know, we're not going to only just have us talk. There's going to be other people going to add to this YouTube channel as guests to kind of give information and facts of these topics, especially even with mental health, because in the end of the day, we need to have a collective amount of ideas to ensure that we move forward to the next thing. So that's all I got on my end. Mental health is more on her, more on her thing. So if you guys got any questions, you can leave them in the comment section below. Yeah. And if you have any comments about the video, we appreciate constructive criticism.
Again, this is our first video, so we're definitely going to, you know, have a bit more, maybe a bit longer video. Just right now, of course, they probably won't be as long, but we definitely would talk more about it. And this is a topic that's not so much where we disagree on or can disagree on, so you're not really gonna see much of our arguments, or not even really arguments. Well, sometimes they do turn into arguments, but really discussions that we have. But if you continue to watch us and listen on, you're gonna hear a lot more of us being brother and sister, for real.
And that's the thing. So it's brother and sister.
Yeah.
So this is something where many people could relate if they have a sibling. So especially in this particular field of this topic of mental health, one side, like me, I'm not in that particular zone of having depression or anxiety. You know, I'm not taking any medicine for those things. However, if you're a brother or sister who's in this position and you have a sibling that's than you, it'll be great to hear it out. Maybe you hear some other people. That's a lot of different brother and sister podcasts out in the world. We're just starting off and having our own type of flavor. So again, if you go in the comment section below, we ask for constructive criticism because what we're trying to do is we're trying to solve issues the best way that we think we can.
Yeah.
By bringing forth what we think. What we think, what we know, and facts that we can provide on YouTube. There's certain facts that
we're gonna bring. Yeah, there's gonna be our opinions out there as well. And you know, I do also want to say, if you know somebody that is suffering a mental health illness, or if you're suffering yourself, please do seek help. Please do get that person help. You yourself seek help. Find a therapist. Find if you need to find a psychiatrist as well. You know, I know some places they can be pretty expensive, but I know for me, I have a place where we live in Miami, so I go to Jackson, and they've been able to, you know, assist me and help me. And please go out and seek help. If somebody comes up to you and they are trying to talk to you, they are trying to reach out to you, please listen to them. Please don't push what they're saying to the side and think, what are they doing? No, please listen to them. Please, because you could really be that person that they need to talk to, and that you know, can help them. So again, you know, this is pretty short and pretty small and not so much, but please listen on, you know, continue watching us, and yeah, we're gonna, you know, continue this podcast for you guys.
All right, well, that's it, guys. We appreciate you guys watching the channel. Please leave a like and click the subscribe button if you like. And give us a comment. We'll definitely like to know what you're saying.
Definitely let us know, yeah.
So with that being said, you guys have a wonderful day. Y'all be blessed. We'll catch y'all later.
Bye.